So putting in boundaries in place today is one of the best things you could ever do.
It's an act of self-love.
Mm.
Hey everybody, kia ora out there.
Hey guys, how's it going today?
Today we thought we'd touch on the really important subject of setting boundaries and learning how to stick to them. Because to be honest, I'm still learning how to stick to them. I'm getting much better at setting boundaries, but my family culture has taught me a lot of conflicting roles as I've grown up. It was in some ways completely boundaryless, and I had to learn to create my own sacred spaces for safety, even as a really young child. And in other ways, I had so many boundaries that I was persistently shamed for anything that went outside the norm. I was both encouraged to be so far outside the norm that boundaries didn't even exist, and so far inside the norm that to step a foot in the wrong direction was, yeah, I was completely shamed and pushed down for it. So it's created a very interesting confliction in me now, and I've had to learn a lot of different skills to deal with that.
Yeah, boundaries. For me, boundaries are awesome. I love boundaries. I grew up at home. My dad was very, very strong, very firm, very old school, and he had boundaries for lots of strong boundaries. And you break his boundaries, there was big consequences. And I grew up like that, so I grew up with boundaries being quite normal. And then over time, when I was a single parent, and boundaries was I teach my sons boundaries and do's and don'ts of life, and it
Mm.
was just a good way to grow up, and everyone knew where we stood, and if you break someone's boundaries, there was always consequences. So boundaries for me was very normal. And then over time, I used to help a lot of people, and then these people would use me and take advantage of me, and I didn't like it. So I put boundaries in place of those people, and I learned to say no. And it was a powerful moment when I learned to say no to these people, because a lot of people will always take, and not give in return.
Mm.
And I got sick of getting treated like a doormat, so I put boundaries in place and say no. And I have a lot of very strong boundaries today, and I had to put boundaries in place with family, because some family used to shame me and make fun of me, and I didn't. I don't like that anymore. So I put boundaries in place and I walked away from them. And today, life is very peaceful because those boundaries, they keep me safe. They keep me
Mm.
safe from people who don't have my best interests at heart. So putting in boundaries in place today is one of the best things you could ever do.
It's an act of self-love.
Mm.
For me, it's very difficult because I can't just walk away. Even when I'm going through a lot of major difficulty as caregiver for my mother at the moment, and she's having a lot of toxicity towards me. I won't go into great detail, but it's really been affecting my peace, and I can't just walk away because I have been her caregiver basically since I was 3 years old. She was never really a strong mother, role model figure to me. Um, and especially when I had to learn to look after myself. So I had to learn to create, like I said, my own sacred spaces, my own boundaries, and find what that meant for me over the years. One of the things my mother recently said to me is boundaries are bad and sick. And I do not agree with that. I think that boundaries are extremely necessary. And I have been on a journey um, of self love and the action of learning how to sit with this and do what needs doing, care. and family wise, but also deeply protect myself, protect my needs, and protect my self-respect, which then ripples out into the respect of those around me.
Yeah, that's definitely true. Like last week, we talked about how to improve your self worth and self esteem, etc. And putting boundaries in place against toxic people is the best way to improve your self esteem and self worth,
Mm,
and to protect yourself. And, you know, and to, it's the best thing you can ever do for yourself is to put good, strong boundaries in place. And when you do have to deal with people like Karen has to deal with her mum, is to keep it the time to a minimum and to deal with what you got to deal with and then just go and leave. And that's the best way to do it because some things you can't avoid and some people you can't avoid. Like if you go to a funeral and there's people there that you don't really want to see, it's just to go there for the minimum amount of time and then just leave and go. That's what I've learned over the years of dealing with people I don't really want to deal with. But boundaries, they're awesome, So I strongly encourage just to put boundaries in place and to keep yourself safe because
mm,
it's just a part of this healing journey. If you've been through any sort of trauma or hard stuff like we've been through, boundaries will keep you safe from being hurt like
mm.
you've been in the past. So, just a simple video about putting boundaries in place, guys. You know, um, we do our best. We're not perfect, and like when we slip up and we okay, well, do better next time. That's our motto. So put boundaries in place, guys. Lots of love from us.
Just before we sign off, there was something else I wanted to say about the technique that I personally use now to ground myself. And I've been doing this for a long time now, and it really, really helps me. So I share it in the hope that it could help you too. Is that I imagine a deep grounding cord or a taproot going down uh, into the center of the earth from my body and grounding away anything that does not belong to me or does not serve me or that uh, I do not permit in my energy space. And I just spend a while just feeling the earth take it back to where everything can be returned to source and all is sacred. And then I envisage big balancing buttress roots coming out from me like a tree, and then beautiful branches of light extending into the universe and drawing down power. And then I will surround myself with a boundary of water and light. And it's thin like a bubble and invisible, but it's the most powerful force in the universe because water can cut through steel if it's moving fast enough. And I surround myself with this and I breathe in peace and out gratitude. And I know that this boundary stands absolutely strong and powerful around me as I walk through the world. And so may it be for me, so may it be for you, and so may it be for all of us. Have a good day, guys.
See you guys.